Hey friends, and welcome back to the Reddit Rainbow. Did y'all know that y'all can send me stories to read? If you join the Discord, show us your pets. You can go into our suggestions tab and submit stories to us. If you have a personal write-in, all you gotta do is just send it to me via email at vibesanddelights@gmail.com or submit it through the Discord. Just tag me in general or in suggestions or anything or anywhere and just be like, hey Fernie, can I send you a story? And I'll be like, yeah, and I'll just let you send me a message on Instagram or email me, whatever, but you can send me your stories if you want me to read them, okay? One person in particular sends us a lot of stories, so I told them I was coming back and I said, let me read a story that you want me to read because I see you contributing all the time. Let me go ahead and read one just for you. And this is the story that they chose. Here you go, another crazy day. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend that we need to change the way we cook our dinner? And there's an update. What are we getting into? I don't know. Grab your vibes and your delights and let's jump in. I, 25 male, have been in a relationship with my girlfriend, 23 female, for 2.5 years, and she moved in with me 2 months ago. Our relationship is working out great. We rarely fight, and even if we get into disagreements, we usually are able to talk it through without ever getting agitated or aggressive. We both have different working hours. She works from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and I work 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. I'm also a 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. person, felt. So every day I make breakfast for both of us, and she makes dinner. Now, my girlfriend likes her food a lot spicier than I do. I can handle spice, but I try to avoid it because eating spicy foods on a regular basis causes acne breakouts, heartburn, and sometimes even diarrhea. Now, ever since we have moved in together, she has started cooking dinner. She likes to make the food spicier as per her taste buds, so almost 4 or 5 days a week, we eat some sort of stew or soup, which will have serrano peppers, and some Thai or Indian curries, which have a lot of chilies. Even when making pasta, she likes to either add Calabrian chilies, jalapenos to the sauce, and honestly, it became too much for me. I have had really bad diarrhea almost twice a week. My acne is so bad that I have coworkers and friends straight up telling me that my face looks horrible. That's not a good friend, but understood. And I take antacids, acid inhibitors, almost every day. I tried to tell my girlfriend to add lesser chilies, make 2 batches of the food, or maybe add hot sauce to her portion, but every time she just tells me to man up, and that if I can't handle a little spice, I should just adapt since it's not always going to be in my control. Last night after dinner, I told my girlfriend that we need to figure out some other way to make dinner, which keeps us both satisfied because I can't keep eating like this. Once again, I was met with the same thing she always says, but I held my ground this time and told her that in no way could I continue eating this food, which is actively damaging my health, and told her that I'm willing to cook my own dinner from now on. Okay? She has been giving me the cold shoulder ever since and saying that I do not value her contributions to the household and that she will now have to do twice the amount of work because I'm being a baby over spicy foods. Am I in the wrong here? Edit, I've been reading the comments and I will talk to my girlfriend about this once again tonight. Thank you for all your advice. I'm almost wondering, like, how is this conversation going down? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know, like, are you telling her like you're telling us? Like, hey, people are telling me that I have really bad acne. You know what I'm saying? Or like find a study and like try and talk to her about it. You know what I'm saying? Like she keeps saying, "Oh, just man up." You know what I mean? Like, I would hate to think that she's like a narcissist. You know what I mean? I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to find like, how are you saying it? Because it sounds like she's just a straight up narcissist. You know what I mean? She sounds like a really unkind person, if I'm being totally honest with you. And I can't understand a reason why anybody would just be like that if they weren't a narcissist. And everybody should be very careful around those kinds of people. And I'm not trying to like, fear monger or what have you, but it's just, they cause people a lot of pain, and when they're undiagnosed or just wreaking havoc, they can be terrible people. But if they are getting the help that they so deserve, then they're okay people. You know what I'm saying? It just, why, I don't know. I just feel like that's a really horrible thing. I think that she's a narcissist, brother. So, and not the asshole, no, but it's honestly very concerning that she doesn't seem to care that her cooking style is giving you such physical discomfort. If my husband told me that he was getting diarrhea from the food I made, I would immediately change it. It's disturbing that her reaction to your body's inability to handle such hot food is just telling you to man up. And that's a disgusting way to respond to your polite request, that you look into how you do dinner differently. You're not the asshole, and I'd rethink how great you think this relationship is if she doesn't care about such a basic need in your life. Yeah, I have to agree. At the beginning, he said that they've been together for 2.5 years and living together 2 months ago. She moved in. And that's a long 2 months. That's all I got to say about that. What do y'all think though? Because I kind of feel like this might be a deal breaker, because this is just food. You know what I mean? What else doesn't she value your opinion and feelings on? This is only like a demo. You know what I mean? There is an update. Okay, let's read the update. It's been some time since my last post, and things have been in a downward slope ever since. The entire fiasco ended 4 or 5 days ago, so I figured I'd post an update, because might as well. So, as I had mentioned in an edit on the last post, I decided to talk to my girlfriend about my problems again. That night I came home a little later due to work, and my girlfriend had made an Asian flavored curry of sort, once again, too hot for me to handle. I had one bite, couldn't eat it at all. I told my girlfriend once again I cannot eat the food she's making, it's borderline poisoning me. She rolled her eyes. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, how are you telling her? Are you just being like, oh, this is like poison, it's too spicy? Or are you telling her, hey, this is hard for me to tell you, but I've been taking antacids. My acne is horrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you telling her? She just rolled her eyes and told me to fill up on plain noodles since she can't be bothered to make something else for me as she is tired. I told her that since I'm anyways not eating the food she makes, I would simply start making my own dinners from now on. She blew up at me. Why is she blowing up though? That's like what's throwing me, because you gave a plausible solution. Like, yes, I don't know if you're communicating well, but this is crazy. You said you wanted to make your own dinner. Why is that not okay? You know what I mean? But anyway, so she blew up at me that if I make my own dinners, then she'd be forced to make her own breakfast, and then she does not have the time to do that. Who said you have to make your own breakfast? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you're just making shit up at this point. I had not even said anything about the breakfast arrangement, and I would have been happy to make both of our breakfasts, but she was in no mood to listen. She ranted about the smallest things. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is just the top. There's more. She ranted about the smallest things, about how I don't bother changing into home clothes before I eat dinner. Are y'all different cultures? I wonder if that's something. I just clean up, have dinner, then get into the shower and get ready for bed. Or how I get up later than her. She has an 8 a.m. job. I still get up in time to make her breakfast between 7 and 7:30, and she ranted about all these things for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and I asked her where this was suddenly coming from, since she never mentioned anything of the sort, and then she went silent at this point and just told me to give her space, and that she didn't want to talk to me for the time being, and I went into the guest room and slept away from her that night. For the next couple days, we didn't talk. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what you want? Is this what you want to get into a relationship with? You want somebody to just not talk to you for a couple days? That's fucked up. This isn't good. It's only been 2 months? What was it like before this? Like, ugh, I just have so many questions. On Saturday, I asked her if she wanted to go for brunch, since I figured spending some quality time would make us a little relaxed and give us some time to talk. And when we came home again, I asked her if she wanted to talk about what had happened, and she again got quiet and told me just forget about it and move on. No. And that the system we had in place for the past couple of days was working for the both of us. I was confused because we were now living like two roommates in a shared house and not like two people in love. And I told her that this system was in no way working for me. I can't just stay with someone I love without saying a single word, eating different meals, sitting at the same table, sharing no time in the house. She got even more upset, saying that I was ignoring her happiness, and got annoyed when I said I can't just ignore my own feelings. That's when she dropped the words, "Why can't you be more like Colin?" And I immediately asked, "Who is Colin?" I think we're all asking, OP. And she stayed silent. After a lot of questioning, it's a guy at her workplace. Colin is in a relationship with some other girl in the same office, and they're good friends with my girlfriend. They talk about their relationship with my girlfriend, and it seems they have similar tastes in almost everything: movies, hobbies, food, travel. Me and my girlfriend, on the other hand, have about a 50-50 ratio. I don't have any hobbies as such, other than I like watches and watching tennis matches, while hers are cosplaying and reading. I work in a highly technical field, designing construction equipment. Ooh, that's cool. While she, and by extension Colin and his girlfriend, work in a very creative field, fashion and ornaments designing. So my girlfriend essentially has built up a mental image that Colin is in a perfect relationship because he and his girlfriend have the exact same interests. And to be honest, both of them have much more similar interests than my girlfriend and me. So now my girlfriend wanted me to become more like Colin so that our relationship can become more like theirs. I tried to tell her that all relationships are different, and that the only thing that matters is if we're happy with each other, whether we can love each other or not. She tried to end the conversation saying she's not comfortable talking about this with me, to which I said that if she's not going to talk about this with me, who else would she talk to? Ooh. And also, who's to say, like, I know that they are together at work, you know what I'm saying? But how did they come about? You know what I'm saying? Was it at a shared interest, or did they have a single shared interest and then they together discovered other interests, right? Like, it doesn't sound like the OP is unwilling to explore things and do things. Y'all just seem to be having a disagreement about food spice, but you're equating it to like everything else. Like, I don't know. It just sounds crazy. And he's so correct, though. Like, who are you going to talk about our relationship with? Because it sounds like she's been talking about y'all's relationship to Colin, and I bet you she's having regrets. And honestly, let me finish reading the story. She just said she was going to stay over at a friend's house and we would just talk tomorrow, and she left. And at this point, I was overwhelmed and confused, so I decided to spend the rest of the day searching for good couples counselors and therapists to see which way our relationship was going to go. And we all know that the tale is old as time. If she declines the therapy or something, ugh, I hope she doesn't. I woke up on Sunday morning and she was already home. I cooked breakfast for both of us, but she had already eaten at her friend's house. She started the conversation by saying how bad she has been and that I deserve better. I was a little confused because rather than apologizing, she was just stating all the things which made her a bad person. I told her to just come to the point, and she told me she'd been approached by Colin and his girlfriend to join their relationship as a throuple. I was silent for some time and just asked her to pack up and leave, and she tried to hug me and talk to me, but I just pushed her off. I told her to give me the extra keys before leaving and went into the extra room and cried my heart out. She came into my room about 30 or 40 minutes later and started crying after seeing me. She started cursing herself out again and saying that I deserve better, but I just told her that her tears meant nothing to me. That night, I got a call from an unknown number, and it was fucking Colin. He started swearing at me about how I dared to make my girlfriend cry and that he will fuck me up if he ever sees me near her. I hung up on her. She has to be complaining about you. She has to be lying to them about you. She has to. Or they're now together and he's trying to stick up for his new girlfriend. Who knows? I hung up on him after telling them that he can have her to himself and I'd rather die than see her again. A couple days later, while leaving for work, I saw that someone had keyed my car and destroyed the plants I keep outside. And I have a suspicion about who it was, but don't have any proof, so I'm not filing any charges. I will set up cameras around my property soon, though. As for my girlfriend, she's tried calling multiple times, but I decline. At first, she left voicemails about how sorry she is and she just wants to talk. But after I did not call back even once, she's now leaving comments about my past traumas and fears that I had talked to her about, even speaking about multiple times she had Colin and his girlfriend over my house when I was not home and telling me what they had done. So she was cheating too on top of that. Wow. I'm so disgusted by the fact that I wasted almost 3 years of my life with her and that I started having some disturbing thoughts about myself due to this. I have been seeing a therapist regularly, also planning a weekend getaway with two of my friends to Vegas for some chill time with them. Slowly but surely, I'm getting better. Majorly due to my friends. Don't know where I'd be without those two. I'm considering selling this house and moving elsewhere due to security reasons and also some emotional reasons, but I'm not sure if that might be the right move. I'm also worried that she might share my address with my family members whom I'm no contact with, so she is a narcissist. Okay. I think I added this in a comment too, so that's another factor. And I'm trying to get an internal transfer at my current company since I like the working culture. But if that doesn't work, then I might just look for jobs in other cities too. I hope Slappin knows that if anything should ever happen to us, God forbid, you know what I'm saying? Like, but like seriously, like if we were to ever break up, not through death, you know, I would never do that. I would never out you to your family. That would be horrible. I would never stoop that low. Jesus. I hope she wouldn't, but good Lord. I don't know. I haven't had enough time to deal with all of this shit as of now. My main focus is just making sure I don't do something hugely damaging to myself. And now that I've had 2 or 3 weeks to cool down, at least get at least some control over myself, I'll start looking at the longer picture. I don't think there will be any updates after this. Hopefully my life just becomes boring after this so that I can live peacefully for some time now. Thanks to all the strangers who helped me here. You saved me from a disaster waiting to happen. Wow, 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 wow. That story escalated so quickly. I fully believe that people like this exist though. That's why I don't mind reading stories that might be fake. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if this story is fake or not, but all I'm saying is that people like this do exist. People like this are there and are monstrous and they need to be recognized. So I like reading stories so that it's easier to recognize people who are like this, because I know everybody who has a work couple that they know that everybody loves. I mean, shit, people love me and Slap. You know what I mean? But like, we're not like breaking up households. Like, I don't, geez, you know what I mean? But like, people like this exist. You know, that's all I'm gonna say. People like this exist, and if it's real, I'd rather talk about it so you can know how to steer clear of it, recognize the signs, and steer clear of it. I guess that's all I'm trying to say. I'll get off my soapbox. What a wild story if it's real. What a wild story if it's not. All right, guys, what do y'all think? I can't wait to read your comments, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think in the Discord. What do you think? Another crazy day. I hope you have a really good day. I hope everybody has a really good day, a really good week. I hope this kind of love and relationship never finds you. That's it. All right. Love you guys so much.